Well, with me now to discuss those appeals is Jeremy Dein QC, who's a criminal defence barrister. Good evening to you.
Good evening.
So the offenders believe that their sentences were rather too harsh. Do you agree with that?
Well, obviously it's a matter for the Court of Appeal, and it's not going to be an easy exercise. There are undoubtedly arguments that because of the context of the riots that the sentences were longer than usual, and that's the issue the Court of Appeal will be determining.
The judges at the time, understandably, were under a huge amount of pressure, weren't they? They were capturing the public mood, which was of outrage of what had happened at the riots. They were under pressure. Do you feel that they responded to that, and that's why the sentences were as long as they were?
No, I wouldn't agree that the judges responded to pressure. I think they responded to circumstances. This was a very unique and extremely, exceptionally serious situation, and what the Court of Appeal have to do is to judge whether the sentences were appropriate or inappropriate, but nevertheless place focus on those very exceptional circumstances.
So talk us through the process then of a Court of Appeal. How does it work?
Well, the first point to make is that the defendants who are before the courts will have had to get leave to appeal from a single judge. Then their counsel will present oral arguments to the effect that the sentences were too long. The court will look at the nature of the offence, the individual circumstances, previous convictions and the riot context, and decide whether the sentences, albeit harsh, were too harsh.
How difficult is it for a judge, though, to overrule another judge, especially when there's going to be a big media interest in this, as they really are in the spotlight?
The appeal tribunal here is governed by the Lord Chief Justice, who is the most experienced and eminent appeal judge in the country. I don't think it will be difficult if the Court of Appeal finds in these circumstances they need to reduce the sentences for them to do that. But obviously there are a number of very difficult balancing factors to take into account.
Such as?
Well, such as on the one hand, what might be regarded as relatively trivial offences like handling a stolen object, but on the other hand, the fact that that handling of stolen goods took place in the circumstances of the riot. So you've got a very difficult juggling act to undertake.
But essentially it would be suggesting or admitting that one of your colleagues had got it wrong, wouldn't it, to overrule a judgment?
Yes, it would. But we have an appellate process in this country which has been going on for a very, very long time. It's very common for judges to be overturned. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. As I say here, the Lord Chief Justice presides. I think he'll have the courage to do it if he feels he needs to.
All right, we must leave it there, Jeremy Dein QC. Thank you very much indeed for your expertise this evening. Thank you.